Yes, I have not done improv since sophomore year. And you'd think that I would make a script. Fire Emblem is a fantasy tactical role-playing game franchise developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo. First produced and published for the family computer in 1990, the series currently consists of 16 core games and 4 spin-offs. And in those 16 games, there are a lot of moments that happen. So I made a tweet that said, what's a Fire Emblem moment that's real but doesn't feel real? And surprisingly so, I got a lot of people like sharing their moments that they found. I really appreciated everybody that said something. That really made me happy just to see that tweet just get a lot of traction, just because like, oh my gosh, like I get to see what other people have to say. So I just compiled them all into a thing and we're just gonna go through them, just look at moments that certainly happened. So the first response that I got was somebody mentioned the Baruka Saizo C support from Fire Emblem Fates, and I don't know, that was a moment that happened, sure happened. I'm sure, like, I don't know, I haven't seen the Japanese version of that support, but if there is an actual C support and they just kind of were like, you know what we're gonna do, we're just gonna like, oh, I actually did type in the document, oops. If you think that's gonna be the only Fates thing I'm talking about, well, it's not. All jokes aside though, Fates is my first Fire Emblem game. That's why it holds like a really important spot in my heart. Like, I wouldn't have been exposed to this wonderful franchise had it not been for Fire Emblem Fates. So this next one was a screenshot from Shadows of Valencia, where it's the cheese lover guy. I consider cheese the greatest gift to man, and I dedicate my life to eating it. Yeah, bars. Okay, so this next one, Crom eating an orange with the skin still on, and Frederick's naked portraits of Crom as recruitment posters. Yeah, like, what is better than seeing their leader, their prince, naked? Like, what was the thought process on that one? So this next one is from Thracia. I personally haven't played the game yet, and that's gonna actually be my next investment. I'm thinking about streaming FE5 entirely blind and seeing what happens. So this moment is when, I don't really know exactly what's going on, but from what I can tell, this character, Kempf, he like traps in a bunch of characters. And he says, the idiots have fallen right into my trap in America. And that's right from the fan translation. I think it's they made like it was like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference or something like that. Let's find out. Let's check the Wikipedia here. Okay. Kemp declares in America upon the execution of, yeah. This is a likely reference to episode 12 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series, in which the character Bandith Keith, who is known for his extreme American patriotism, says a similar line. Okay, all right. Okay, so here's another screenshot. It's right from Sacred Stones. This is, I think, one of like the second or third time you see like Leon like interacting with Erica and Ephraim, and he's possessed. Homeboy, he's just putting on his demon show in front of Erica and Ephraim, and he's like, ah, I'm evil, oh my god. And what's really funny about it is that the first thing he says to the two of them is just, hi. Like, hi. And the twins are like, oh my god, Leon, what are you doing here? And Leon's like, hey, I'm evil now, by the way. See ya. He says, grah, yeah, evil. I'm like, oh my god, Leon, what are you doing? Don't get possessed by the Demon King, you're so sexy. He's just possessed. He's got demons in him, and he's just like, I'm evil. Okay, now this is a classic. So, at the end of Conquest, when you have to fight Ryoma, he like, there's this big cutscene where he's like, no more games, to the death, and he's like really angry, and then like after that cinematic ends, and then you select your units, and then you start the battle. A little pop-up comes on and it says, Prince Ryoma will wait patiently for his revenge, but only for 25 turns. After that, he will begin his assault. I remember seeing that for the first time and I was like, okay, gonna prepare some tea for Corin. You're gonna like make a nice little dinner. They get to like chat before, you know, like Ryoma like just unleashes his full anger and aggression towards the Norian army. That's kind of funny. And I've seen a lot of memes just about it. 25 turns. That's pretty long. Okay, so now we're getting to some Three Houses territory. So this one says you can have tea with the goddess. Yeah, you sure can. You can have tea with the Pope. You can have tea with war criminals. Okay, another Shadows of Valencia one. This is pretty good. I feel like there are some characters that absolutely have their moments in that game. One of them especially being Lucas. This line of his, he says, "A battle between a god and mortal. Sounds exhilarating to me." Like, he's so casual about it. Banana peppers are the best pizza topping. Couldn't have said it better. This really is a Lucas moment. Okay, this is one of the most iconic lines in Sacred Stones. Easily. This one's really funny. So, this is during Larshel and Inez's, I think, B support? Larshel, she's been an enigma this entire game. Like, she'll show up for like 15 minutes and then she's like, I'm out of here, see ya. And then, you know, she'll join you up eventually and it's kind of funny, it's kind of goofy. Anything that comes out of her mouth is just like, yeah. She says, "If I were not a holy woman, I would beat you senseless." Yeah. Larshel moment. Now this is what I call a Fates moment. So this one is blow drying your spouse by blowing into your microphone. I will say that was pretty goofy when I saw that for the first time. So what I did was I married Silas and I was like, okay, my king. So what happened was I supported Silas and then we're like, okay, cool, he's moving into your treehouse or whatever, cool. You see him and he's be like, oh, hey, welcome back, whatever. And they can like just chat with him. So what'll happen is he'll return from the hot springs and he's like, wow, what an awesome visit to the hot springs. Can you dry me off? And then you're just expected to start blowing into the 3DS microphone. We're doing great. Now this next one. All I'm gonna say is if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Because Sacred Stones has like these moments where you're like, ah, E for everybody. But that was nice sibling bonding moment, you know. Does this make sense? Does this make sense to you? The infamous baby dimension. You know, Awakening, they were like, yes, these child units, these are going great. We love this. We're gonna also put the child units in our next game and it's gonna be so awesome and everyone's gonna love it. But then they realize, oh, you know what? There's no actual plot. So they were like, but there's no way to make this make sense within the story because there's no talk about like, you know, coming back from the future, like in Awakening, because like that's the whole point of Awakening is that Lucina came back and was able to help with the Fell Dragon and all that stuff. But they realized, you know what? There's no reason for this to make sense. They said, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. So what we're gonna do is when two characters fall in love, get married and supported, they're gonna have a child and they're gonna just yeet that child into the baby dimension. And that's what I call a Fates moment. And then in like a week they're fully grown and then they can fight. It's like, I don't know, just, you know, like sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes, you know, yes, I'm gonna be deployed for a paralog. Like, I don't have time to feed my child. We're just gonna, the people in the Outrealms are gonna deal with it. That's fine. That's cool. It's whatever. It just doesn't make sense. Well, maybe it does make sense to... Maybe it does. I don't know. So now we're getting on to some FE4 business. There are a lot of moments in FE4 that just happen. And they just exist. And we just let it. FE4 has to be my favorite installment out of all of the games. So anytime I get to talk about genealogy, I'm super happy. Like, I have no means of playing this, but I have it because I wanted it. So we all know that with a title, Genealogy of the Holy War, there's gonna be some really interesting family dynamics. Deirdre, yeah, so she's the daughter of Sigyn and Kurth. And Arvis is the son of Sigyn and... Okay, Sigyn and Victor are his parents. And then, so in order to create the perfect vessel for the big bad dragon Lopter, they needed to put these two people together because that's how blood works. We cook ourselves a spicy vessel, Spicy and Julius. So what had happened is that instead of having one kid who's gonna have the major Loptus blood being able to host Lopter, she gave birth to twins. One has the blood of Naga and the other has the blood of Loptus. And Naga in Fire Emblem is like God, like it's Fire Emblem God, Fire Emblem Jesus, and Lopter is like, you know, the big bad evil guy. So when it boils down to it, Deirdre gave birth to both the Christ and the Antichrist, and good for her, I think. All right, we got this last one, and this is the really iconic moment. This is one of like the first things to be memed, I remember when the game came out, and so it's Claude, right? And it's Claude and Hilda's C support. And he's like, he has his hands over his back. He's like, I'm a cool guy. I'm a cool guy. Oh, I disagree. I'd let you grasp me any day. My hand, my heart, even my neck. And I remember seeing that for the first time and I was like, oh, all right. So this is what we're doing, huh? Like sometimes people will just be saying things and we just let them. And they're iconic for it. But Claude really takes the cake here. Just all these funny little things that just happen in Fire Emblem, and I'm like, yeah, this is funny. And that just makes the series even better, right? Outros. Well, we're gonna figure this out eventually. This is like my first video where I'm sitting down in front of a camera and I'm like, hi. I definitely want to make some more Fire Emblem videos, just because Fire Emblem's my life. If anyone has any other video ideas, just comment them. I would love to just talk about some characters, some like relationship dynamics, because if you see me on Twitter, that's all I talk about, ever. So if you're still here and you're still watching this, thank you so much for giving this a view. Thank you for just hanging out with me a little bit. If you want to see some more of this, hit the subscribe button, give it a like, comment, show your dog or something. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Maybe on Twitter, maybe on YouTube, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye! I don't think I said a single funny thing this entire thing. I don't think I said anything funny. We'll find out in editing, right?